So that day I realized that, look, this is enough, and you cannot stay with that person anymore. But having said that, I am grateful to Mr. Rahul Gandhi that I would not have become chief minister. I would not have been able to serve the state had it not been he who has shunted me out literally from the Congress party. So if I am today in this position, that also because of that famous meeting.
So you mentioned the Congress and your example about your meeting with Rahul Gandhi and his dog Piddi has become the stuff of political lore. So if I may ask you, could you tell us that story again? And also, I want to also go beyond the story and ask you that your attack or your critique of the Congress has seemed to be Gandhi centric. It's your critique of the Gandhis, of perhaps the larger culture of entitlement that they are part of. But you have personalized the attack in many ways. Do you also, when you look at the Congress, do you think the Congress can be separated from the Gandhis, that it has a future away from the Gandhis? But first, if you could recount that story. The Piddi story.
I think I'll be a most happier person to speak with someone about the entire episode. That meeting was not in isolation. There was a series of conversation between me, Mrs. Gandhi, and Mr. Ahmed Patel, with Ghulam Nabi Azad, Mallikarjun Kharge, all were in pictures. So those were the episodes which continued for 1 year. At some point of time, I resigned. And after resignation, I went to Mrs. Gandhi. Mrs. Gandhi advised me to meet Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I met him once. That meeting was also very, very disgusting, but I did not make it public and I kept it with myself.
So why was it disgusting?
Because if I raise something, Mr. Rahul Gandhi would say, so what? His typical answer was every point. I was there in 20 minutes with them and I heard the word so what not less than 50 times. Every time I want to say something, he said, so what? It's a complete feudal culture. But when it comes to the famous meeting, because of that character called PD, that was a different meeting. We went there with a conciliatory move. I mean, Mr. C.P. Joshi, the Speaker of Rajasthan Assembly, he has somehow brought a kind of peace formula. So me, Mr. Tarun Gogoi, Mr. C.P. Joshi, Mr. Anjan Datta, he is no more with us. We all went to meet Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So we started saying that, yes, election is nearby. Assam has a great potential. We can defeat BJP. And because of that, government is there. If we together, then we'll be able to defeat. So like that, we started the meeting with a very, very positive note. But during the meeting, I have seen that Rahul was not interested in the meeting from very beginning. He was playing with that dog. Later on, we came to know that the character is called PD. Anyway, so at some point of time, we were served with tea and biscuit. The dog went up to the table and picked up one biscuit from the plate. So Rahul looked at me and he started smiling. So I was thinking that why he is smiling. And I waited with my cup of tea thinking that Rahul will push the calling bell and ask someone to change the plate. I was waited for 5 minutes. After some time, I have seen that Mr. Joshi, Gogoi all started taking biscuits from the same plate and started eating. So I was not a frequent visitor, but then I realized that this must be a normal for everybody. This happens in all the meetings. So that day I realized that, look, this is enough and you cannot stay with that person anymore. But having said that, I am grateful to Mr. Rahul Gandhi that I would not have become chief minister. I would not have been able to serve the state had it not been he who has shunted me out literally from the Congress party. So if I am today in this position, that also because of that famous meeting, and also because of the fact that Rahul Gandhi did not appreciate I being in the Congress party.